On today's Sunday Stupid, Dave Murphy reads a policeman his rights.
I don't have to say anything. My normal defence to later rely on something you failed to mention when questioned. Anything you do say, you would say in the next skip.
All that on today's thriller lunchtime edition of the Sunday Stupid. Yes, how do, dearest viewer? Welcome back to my little corner of the YouTubies. Thank you all so much for joining me. Now, please like, share, subscribe. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'd just like to say massive shout out to my amazing patrons, Sven Bellens, Bob Sadler, Alan L, and Christo Bergero, and to my amazing channel members, Sven Bellens again, and Cheeky Vlogs. Thank you all so very much. Yes, hello. How you all doing? I hope you're all fine and dandy, just like me. Anyway, apart from the fact that I've not had a shave today. Bugger. Anyway, first things first, lots of positive feedback from the live stream that I did last Friday. I'm going to start doing more of them. So look out for me on a Friday, 7 p.m. on my channel. I'm hoping to do something with Atheist Junior in the first week in February. That's when I'm really free. And plus it's my birthday as well, first week in February. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, the live stream, a couple of teething problems like not clicking go live when when the stream was about to start. So I forgot about that. I had an intro and a card ready, you know, everything like that. I had it all set up, didn't press go live. There you go. But I'll get better as time goes on. If there's any video suggestions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try my best to cover them in future live streams or in future videos like this one. Come and find me on Twitter, because that's probably the best place that you're going to find me, because I have Discord. Yes, I haven't got a clue how to work it, so it's pointless trying to get in touch with me on there. It really is. So come and find me on Twitter, or just tag me in the comments below. Excuse me. So come and find me on Twitter, like I said, or in the comments section below. Tag me in the comments, and that's pretty much it. So let's get on with today's video, shall we? First up, Dave Murphy. If you don't know who Dave Murphy is, where have you been? Why have you not been watching my videos? Dave Murphy is a flat earther and moon landing denier, obviously, because that comes with the territory, and he pretty much believes every conspiracy going. And he's got a bee in his bonnet about a vaccination centre.
Well, I've told you my position. Okay, I'm not going to be arresting the officers or taking them into custody. I'm not going to be shutting down the vaccination centre. I'm not going to be preventing people from accessing or leaving the vaccination centre to access the vaccine.
Do you know, before we get into the meat and two veg of this video, I have got to show you this. This is hilarious. Peace constable training. So let's go through this. A peace constable is a man or woman who has sworn an oath to and appointed by the people of the land. Dave, I didn't appoint you. I'm a person of this land, and I didn't appoint you to be my peace constable, and I never ever will. To serve and protect and uphold the common law. In this course you will receive the tools and learn how to stand up, serve and protect your community against unlawful government mandates, police and official overreach, and uphold the common law. You will also learn how to peacefully stand down police, bailiffs, council officials using a combination of knowledge, technique and roleplay. So, in other words, give me some cash and I will teach you how not to pay your council tax. Which is pretty much basically what this is. So, Dave, if you don't want to pay council tax, that's absolutely fine. But don't expect to use any of these services while you're at it. Libraries, parks, open spaces and galleries, leisure facilities, social care for old people, children and vulnerable members of the community. If you don't pay your council tax, Dave, how are these people going to get looked after? Support for the voluntary sector, again, very important. Refuse collection, street cleaning and other environmental issues. Maintenance of roads and bridges, traffic management, road safety, parking services and control. Elections, registers of births, deaths and marriages. Cemeteries, crematoria and mortuary services. Dave, when you die and you're not paying your council tax, where are they going to bury you? consumer protection, economic development and regeneration, community development services, housing, including the provision of social housing, housing strategy and advice, and services for the homeless. So, Dave, don't pay your council tax, but don't use any of these services. Got it?
Well, even over the crime number being legit, so do you still continue with that?
You're allowing genocide. It's against the Nuremberg Code.
Was that a Karen? I recognise a Karen's voice. Look, Karen, nobody is committing genocide. It's not going against the Nuremberg Code. We're all being strongly advised to take a vaccine. What's wrong with that? It isn't law, and if it did become law, then I would fight against it, because I think that taking a vaccine should be a matter of personal choice. Whether people agree with that, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But I think it should be personal choice. What you are doing, Karen, you and some of your hippie friends there, and I suspect some of you are wearing camouflage jackets. Why? I don't know. But what you are doing, Karen, is trying to take away that person's freedom of choice by shutting down a vaccination centre. You, Karen, and your hippie friends are hypocrites.
So, as part of an ongoing live criminal investigation, okay, we have it on video evidence now. Because of the evidence that's been submitted for this crime.
What crime? What evidence?
That's you are committing an offence of misconduct in public office and perverting the course of justice.
Ah, those crimes. Misconduct in public office and perverting the course of justice. That police officer is just standing there. He is not committing any crimes whatsoever.
So in that case, I'm going to have to ask you to arrest this man.
But Dave, you're a peace constable. Why don't you arrest him?
Okay.
So we're going to have to.
I'm going to have to, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to arrest these men.
Okay.
Sir.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So-
Absolutely not.
So all guilty
I'm
then.
going to have to arrest you, sir.
Yeah.
On suspicion of.
You're all guilty.
Yeah.
You're all guilty. There's a little Cockney Karen there popping up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What are they guilty of? You're protesting outside a vaccination centre. Right? You're taking away a person's freedom of choice whether or not to walk in there and get a jab. The police are there to keep the peace. So what exactly are they guilty of? If you think the police, or if you think that the police are guilty of a crime, why don't you go to the police station and arrest them? Oh, bloody hippies.
Suspicion of misconduct in public office. Perverting the course of justice. I don't have to say anything. My normal defence to later rely on something you failed to mention when questioned. Anything you do say, you would be taking the next step.
There's dear old Dave there completely messing up the Miranda rights. Oh my God. Let's do the reading for him, shall we? Here we go. Right to silence. This is a British version of Miranda rights. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. There you go, Dave. That's how to say it.
Hey, do you understand?
I understand what you've tried to say there. I don't think it's incumbent on a member of the public to know the police caution.
Oh, it is.
To know the caution.
It is.
For us.
Well, it's just for your benefit. Well, you already know, but
Yeah.
yes, but I'm sorry, I'm just doing my duty as a sovereign being. Right,
Yeah.
so you're under arrest, and I don't have to. I guess I do have to arrest you if I'm.
Yeah.
Dave. You can't just go around arresting anybody that you disagree with. It can't be done. Otherwise, we'd all be doing it. According to Section 24A of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act of 1984, you must meet certain conditions to perform a citizen's arrest. The offence must be indictable. And as far as I know, and the hours and hours of research I've put into this, as far as I know, standing around in a public place is not an indictable offence.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest that you have to repeat exactly the same
Okay.
within
Yeah.
earshot. But
All
it's
four
it's
of you are
entirely
under
up to you.
arrest
You're
now.
under arrest.
Whoa, good luck with that, Karen.
So we have 4, 5, 6,
So
7
I'm
people.
afraid, you know, again, we don't want to do this. We need action being taken.
Yes.
So you know,
We care about people. We care about the people that are dying and being injured.
Well, Karen, people are dying, yes, but what are they dying from? People are getting injured, Karen. How are they getting injured? If you are going to claim it's the vaccine, I want some stats on this. I want some actual science. I don't want your opinion. I don't want Dave's opinion. I don't want anybody in a camouflage jacket's opinion. I want some actual science. Because I'm willing to bet not one of you bloody hippies stood there trying to stop people from getting a vaccine is a scientist. Not a single one. You've got me annoyed now.
People that are ignorant to this are rejecting their children. That's what worries
And
me.
your families, you're covered, you're being covered.
No, I said, is this a good use of, is this a
Oh,
proportionate
definitely.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
definitely.
If it saves one life.
I called it. I called it. There's a Karen there with a camouflage jacket on. There you go. There's another Karen there with pink hair. Who'd have thunk that? There's also a few hippies dotted about. And also you've got the wallflower at the back who doesn't really say anything but just goes along with it just because she's a nosy old cow. Right. And save one life. He said save one life. Save one life from what? You're going to have to, if you're claiming it's the vaccine that's killing people, you're going to have to back it up with some science, like I've said before. Okay? And the police are just stood there keeping the peace. That's all they are doing. Good luck with arresting them for the crime of keeping the peace.
It's mass genocide. This will be talked about in history. Let's put it that way.
Luke, Karen, why don't you just go home? Because you're talking absolute nonsense. Genocide? Really? Genocide? What genocide? Give us some science, like I've said. Give us some evidence. Give us some stats to back up what you're saying. I don't want your opinion. I don't want the opinion of a few hippies and one peace constable and some dipstick wearing a bloody camouflage coat. I don't want your opinion. I want some science. I want some stats. And I'm getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And I've run out of milk chocolate hobnobs.
And the fact that you are enabling, I'm sure you're a lovely guy. I can feel it. You've got a good soul, okay?
Oh, you patronising hippie cow. Why don't you piss off home and go and make some daisy chains or something?
But unfortunately,
unfortunately,
doing your job doesn't hold up either.
Nuremberg,
Just doing your job, following orders, does not hold up.
Oh, Nuremberg Code. No, it doesn't apply here because the 3 vaccines have stood up to large-scale clinical trials. So the Nuremberg Code doesn't apply. You stupid bloody hippies.
My job.
and you know when this all shakes out, you're going to be on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Wrong side of history.
And that's
So we're going to have to
unfortunate.
call the police and have them taken.
Yeah.
Dave, call the police. Dave, you stood in front of 4 of them. And what was that unwashed hippie saying? Wrong side of history? Really, Mr. Unwashed Hippie? You are on the wrong side of history. You are the one that's being laughed at because you are getting the Nuremberg Code wrong. You are misinterpreting the Nuremberg Code. So you are the one that's being laughed at. You are the one that's on the wrong side of history. And you are the real fascists.
And we have every
it's
right.
fair for me to tell you now that if Sussex Police keep receiving calls under similar circumstances, so along the lines of bringing more officers down to arrest officers who haven't done what we've demanded, then it may be that you're prosecuted for wasteful use of resources.
We can't be. We're not.
demanded anything. All we've done is requested
Yeah.
your assistance.
And you to look into what we're actually
Yes.
talking about.
I'm
But
simply
You dirty, unwashed hippie. You haven't requested anything. What you have done, right, is tried to arrest some police officers for imaginary crimes. What you are trying to do is get a vaccination centre shut down, therefore taking away a person's freedom of choice. And what you have also done is scream genocide and Nuremberg Code at people, at some police officers. That is what you've actually done.
You can make a
saying
phone
that
call
there is
now.
potential. I'm not saying that would happen,
Yes.
but there is potential
No,
if
it
it
wouldn't
carries on
happen.
and snowballs
It's not
in
going to
that
happen. We're entirely in the right.
Yes, Karen, you are right on this particular thing here, because you do have the right to protest. But what I would do if you do want to protest against something, especially a vaccination centre or a vaccine, I'd probably get some evidence to back up your side of things. Okay, it's just a thought.
If you make a phone call now and investigate what we're telling you about, you'll probably be seizing them today.
But Karen, you haven't said anything worth a damn here. You haven't said anything of substance. You certainly haven't backed up anything you've said with any evidence. I'd probably do a bit of research before you go on your next protest.
So if this young gentleman here that's speaking to that lady could make a few phone calls, track the reference number, ask about the people, the names that he's just given over. I think there's 4 gentlemen's names. Mark Sex, yeah, and they're
Just for a moment, just occurred to me that actually what would be the necessity, if you're telling me that we need to arrest and take away the officers who you arrested, what would be the necessity for that? What's the aim of them being taken into custody?
Well, because they're perverting the course of justice. They stop it.
They also pervert
But what's achieved by taking the officers into custody? How does that progress the investigation and protect
so that we
not
can
doing
close
their
this
job.
down.
they're not acting
They're
under
not,
their
yeah.
oath.
So Karen there, finally showing her true colours. She's a fascist. She wants to get a vaccination centre shut down and take away a person's freedom of choice. Wow. Great going, Karen. And there we go, another Sunday Stupid all done, dusted and delivered for your viewing displeasure. Thank you so much for joining me. Please join me on the next one, 8 PM Wednesday for a Wacky Wednesday video, and join me next Friday for another live stream. I will see you all then. Ta-ra for a bit.